We're continuing to track Hurricane Helene for you, and with the latest advisory at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, this is what we got from the National Hurricane Center. Winds are now up to 130 miles per hour, and it's labeled as a Category 4 hurricane. So this is a very strong major hurricane that's on its way to the Big Bend of Florida. And within this line right here, you get pockets of damaging wind, and these are the kind of storm cells that have that potential for tornadoes to spin up. So have a way to get alerts that will wake you up and get you to your safe spot if anything does turn severe. Helene still spinning off in the Gulf of Mexico. You see that eye wall very distinct there, and now close to home you see these bands of rain being pushed into the area, and this rain going to be continuing for us not just now but into early tomorrow morning. Got a few of those bands trying to come off and make some waves here in the Chattahoochee Valley, and when we look at that radar network you can just see a few isolated storms in the mix. So we're going to move over just to Auburn right now. This again crossing I-85 at the moment, so Lee County getting in on that rainfall. It's mid-teens to mid-20s across the area, so that means you're going to have to take those cold weather precautions tonight. Go ahead and do them tonight because, again, you don't want to regret it in the morning. So now we're going to talk about that next best chance of rain because it's coming for us. Looking ahead to Wednesday, that coverage a bit higher. This looks like it could be a storm system. You'll need the jacket to start the day, but I don't think you'll need it to end the day because we're going to be warming up back to those upper 60s, low 70s for our Friday with lots of sunshine in the picture. It is not a hurricane right now, but it is expected to strengthen to a Category 1 before making landfall along the Texas coastline. So you can see that circulation around that area of low pressure trying to tighten up again and re-intensify. The Atlantic Basin is seeing lots of Saharan dust drying out the atmosphere, and this is good news. So we want rain here close to home, but we like to see this in the Atlantic Basin because this dries out the atmosphere and eliminates that chance for tropical development. Has extended moderate drought conditions into portions of the Chattahoochee Valley. So any kind of rain right now is very beneficial to us. So hopefully we can add to that total today. If you're not staying close to home, maybe you're headed out to the beach, let's check out the forecast over in Destin. Things looking nice along the Florida coastline. They do feature that very low end chance of rain as well, but temperatures not as bad. But again, first thing you need to do once you hit the sand at the beach is look for that flag. It is very, very important. Now grab the disco ball because it's a 70s party across the valley this evening. We're in the low 70s throughout many spots today and tomorrow is Groundhog Day. It's a love-hate relationship between Punxsutawney Phil and a meteorologist because we're going to be talking about warmer temperatures, but he may be predicting some cooler ones. But I'll show you what I'm thinking we'll see heading into the next few weeks in just a second. I love joy. I love joy. I don't think you can be doing morning weather if you don't love joy, okay? Because it takes a lot of joy to get here this morning and just be, you know, like real chipper. It's gonna rain. So Barbara, you know I am a thrill seeker at heart. I'm holding off on the fair food because I'm with Jennifer Babin, the marketing director right now. And look at him go. That's what I want to see my fantasy team do. Look at him go.
Well said. Likewise.
Now, option 2, we have Blake Weldon throws the ball right, and the ball gets tipped right into the hands of Jaden Richardson, and he takes that all the way to the house. 90 yards for the score. What
90 yards?
Impressive right there. Good defense.
Yards. I hope the celebration after that was great. I'm sure it was. And last but
well, we are at the tail end of hurricane season, and of course that last day of hurricane season is November 30th. But when we look at that outlook and how active this season's been for us so far, well, the NOAA outlook that gets put out in late May is doing pretty well. We've had 18 named storms so far this year, 11 hurricanes and 4 major hurricanes, and we have another storm to talk about. We have Tropical Storm Sarah that's down in the Caribbean. It's right now it got winds up to around 40 miles per hour, but it's going to continue this westward projection over the Yucatan Peninsula and expect to become a tropical depression, but this could get some more energy once it makes its way over and it gets back into the Gulf of Mexico and could redevelop into a system. But this is still far too out to talk about impacts to our area, but the chance for those impacts still very low. But what's going on here in the valley is a big shift in our weather close to home. You had that front that pushed through this morning that brought some gloomy conditions, some light rain across the area, but it's continuing to push that rain further out to the east, and it's going to dry us out really nicely. This cold front bringing in some drier, cooler conditions, and what you're seeing, temperatures already cooling throughout much of the southeast. You have the wedge though up to the northeast. That's why you see 40s up in Greenville, but close to home, 65 right now, 64 in Birmingham, and of course Tallahassee, a little bit warmer than the rest at 74 degrees. But for tonight, very comfortable. If you have plans to take you out, you may need that light jacket because we'll be back to those 50s before midnight, and then waking up tomorrow morning definitely will need an extra layer because we're going to be ranging between those mid 40s to low 50s across the area. So actually getting back to those more seasonal conditions we typically see in November, and those high temperatures are going to warm up for us for our Friday, but not quite like we've seen the past few days. We're going to stay in the upper 60s, which is right at average this time of year. We're going to have plenty of sunshine to go along with it. And you'll see this now with the futurecast as we play it out. You got a few clouds around tonight, but those will be clearing as you head out the door early tomorrow morning. And throughout the rest of your Friday, it's just going to be overall very pleasant. Got a few clouds, but again, more sunshine than anything. So just a beautiful Friday. If you have any plans to take you out or any high school football playoff games going on, those are going to be a good to go signal. Now, the weekend going to feature some warmer temperatures as you get to the afternoon, even back to the low 70s. But check out the mornings. The mornings are going to be back into the 40s for us as high pressure sits over us. Going to keep things a bit cooler. Now, when we look to the long range forecast, you see we warm back up to the mid 70s by Monday, Tuesday. A front pushes through, warming us up, but also increasing that rain coverage. Then you see that stark drop down as temperatures cool to the 60s, and this again takes kind of follows the temperature outlook where we're expecting below average temperatures towards the end of the month. But like I was saying, as you head out the door tomorrow morning, keep the cooler weather gear on as we'll be back to the 40s and then eventually warm up. And of course, Jason, the forecast is just beautiful for any plans you have, but later next week gonna have to get out the sweaters and turtlenecks.
Yeah, getting cooler like it's supposed to be in mid-November. All right, thanks very much, Allie Ann.